Oh, what just changed on all this? What the fuck?
You're using your Wi-Fi. That could also make a difference.
No, it's on. No, that's
Well, sometimes like it will only log you in if you're connected to. You know what I mean? Like anyone who's hooked up to my Wi-Fi can log into my Netflix account. But once you're off my Wi-Fi, you're off my Netflix.
but yet here I am. I'm able to.
I don't know. I'm just making a guess.
No, yeah, no, this is pays in. You know,
So
it's just kind of weird. So I know that
Sees they're fast. They're
like my
creative.
either
They put a
subscriptions
lot
with
of
the
guns
Hulu,
down
but my
game, but on the
Hulu's
other
still
side
there.
of it, you know, like Canada's going to play
Yeah,
hard, they're going to play heavy, and they've got pedigree. They've got players like Glenn.
Also, keep in mind, there's like 30
It's
devices
exactly that.
connected
It's
to
kind of
my
experience versus youthfulness. So we're seeing both countries approach
between the two
the tournament
laptops,
differently.
the two
Team Canada
phones,
already announcing their 23
the
player
television.
roster for
You
the
know what I
United
mean?
States.
Yeah.
Well, they're
All
going
of
to
the
go for
stuff in
evaluation
between.
camp just because of those volume of numbers of college players. They're going to need to find that chemistry early. Well, the Americans won
Yeah,
gold on
exactly.
Canadian last year. The Canadians will look to return the favor in Utica, New York. James.
Swear to
Early
God.
first begins, of course, on
Liberty Bell Bob.
TSN.
Freaking huge.
3rd to the 14th. Watch your top Canadian women face off against the best teams in the world, including their arch rivals from the U.S. Utica, New York, April.
Oh shit, my bad. HDMI 2.
I'm just trying to get back to that NFL.
On the trade center, 20 minutes left until Sports Center and Rod Smith. Stay with us, and for those who've been with us all day, we appreciate it greatly. Sport.
SPN Plus Origin.
What's the haps, bro?
And slickness is unbelievable. Every trick just slides right off. Simply spray it on and lightly buff it with the included number of microtones.
What?
Any of Starco's #1 selling ceramic products for under $20 in these leading retailers today.
What up, America? What up, world?
Homecoming.
What up, galaxy?
Softer.
Anybody like
I think the design, it gives you kind of
Just get into the flow to one.
See, Deuce with the old twerking ducks is way better than the fuck they get one of them.
Ask me where I got it, and I tell them.
But that's
I know you hate the org,
and that's when they used to be shitty too.
Yeah, you'll see what
Where they were even worse. Where they were even worse than they are now. We put it that way. They're always shitty.
I know they're not. I mean,
Just be honest. They're
Like-
always shitty.
you mean like Wayne?
You know, Oregon's just
Maybe we're talking like they're dumb.
just a dump.
3-year, $19 million deal, $13 million guaranteed. His first season,
What do you
he
think?
was a success.
They just
And
try to
now
window
the
dress you.
passers, solid, and pass
Yeah.
coverage stepped up.
You know,
Nick
people go to
Bolton is
Eugene and it's like, who the fuck am I?
Where do things stand out with Chris Jones and Letarius Sneak?
Well, the Chiefs
Am I gonna
It's
get,
not that bad.
am I gonna get attacked by some hobo coming out of the trees?
I mean-
$30 million a year, somewhere close, right?
I've been in some real shitty neighborhoods, so I see Seattle, I'm like, yeah, it's shit. But,
We're not going back there.
I've been in like some shitty neighborhoods.
Something.
Like, there's parts of New York where you're just like, No, I don't, no. Why the fuck would I? I'm not gonna pay. I told you my neighborhood that I grew up in, they wouldn't even deliver pizza. Like I called Guarini's and they were like, yeah, no, we don't deliver. And I'm like, what? They're like, no, we've been robbed, mate. we don't deliver to that. You got there. I was like, damn. That was the first time I had a realization, like, oh man, I live in the. That's where I live. I'm watching on TV like that's everyone else. I'm like, oh wait, I live in the ghetto.
And then Snake can negotiate a new contract with his team.
Yeah, I mean, Mina said she would love to see him with the Commanders as well in our last segment. So, I mean, Mina, let's say.
The Jerry
you
Sneed.
Trade Sneed.
There's a franchise tag on them.
Draft.
But that also means that, you know, like you said, they're okay with trading.
Is given the Chiefs Super Bowl aspirations.
The franchise tag means
Better off.
They
they just want to keep him for a year until they work something out.
Well,
Decide
no,
what they're gonna do.
franchise
with it.
tag means you have to pay them the top 5 salaries at that.
I know what it means pay wise, but the reason why they slap a franchise tag on a guy is because first of all, they don't want him to walk. Obviously. Second of all, it's basically until they figure out what.
It's a 1-year
Yeah.
contract to where $19.5 million is cheaper than paying a 3-year contract,
Yeah.
but he's asking for you
I
know,
believe,
15
really
each year.
talented.
So you know, how about we just do 1 year at 19?
Remember when they
Just
kept franchise
guaranteed-
tagging Kirk Cousins? Look in Washington. He was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." Like they need to put a cap on franchise tags. Like you shouldn't be allowed to franchise a guy 2 years ago.
Guys like.
Yeah, there's a lot of different rules in
Right.
like that.
Because they kept
But
franchising
but
Kirk
same
Cousins.
time-
He was like, man,
But at the
man,
same
put him in
time,
soda.
the players like a player like Kirk Cousins, hey, if you're gonna keep paying me this much money, hey, that's 1 year, 19. Next year I'm making 28. Next year I'm making 32. Dude, I don't have to win a Super Bowl and I'm getting guaranteed. He's the highest paid guy that hasn't delivered a Super Bowl.
Here's what
So-
here's
so-
the idea behind
So that's
that.
basically teams being idiotic in who they're using their franchise on.
It's teams basically, yeah, being idiotic because you're holding up a guy's career and you're also holding up your own salary. Like you're holding up your own fundings.
But
Like,
you're
you
also
can't-
the
You're
player
literally
has
paying
to
a guy and you're like,
make
we don't
money.
want to know. And at some point, you got to make a decision.
Yeah, no,
You
what
know?
they're doing is they're trying to get a 3-year or a 5-year contract, and but they don't realize it. You're asking too much money over 3 years. We don't want to commit to you over 3 years because you might get hurt. So you know what? You're good, but we're only going to pay you for 1, and it's cheaper than having to pay 3
Exactly.
years.
And what
So
that
the
does,
team's actually being
and so what I say to that is they shouldn't be allowed to do that to the next season.
well, no,
The next
the
season,
player
you
needs
the
to be
choice on you.
smarter and
Are you
saying,
keeping
know
him?
what?
Are you cutting him? Are you
Maybe
going to let
I'm
him
not-
walk?
Maybe
You can't.
I'm not worth that much money, and so bring my demands down instead of saying I said, well, I'm only going to sign for a 3-year contract. And for 15, maybe I'll sign for a 3-year at 10, and then the team will say, okay, now you can work with it. You know, because that's his players being. I mean, not saying like a Kirk Cousins per se, but that's his players and their agents being too greedy, trying to get a longer term deal when it's cheaper for the team to do it at a 1-year franchise.
I don't think it's greed. I think if it were up to the owners, they'd be paying these guys as little as possible. And so it's up to the play. Yeah,
Don't think so?
I think the owners would.
No.
If the no. And so you're
Are you finally caught on to that?
so you're faulting the players for getting their bag.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that they're being the teams looking at. They got to look at what we talked about this before. Why do teams have to be the ones that can't make money? Why?
That's the idea.
You know what? They're out there to make money. They're out there to earn a buck. The owner's out there trying to earn $1, just like a player is.
Yeah, but that's why they put the
So,
salary cap on there because
You know, we
some
talked about
markets
it,
make
Jeff
more money
Bezos,
than other
they have
markets.
Every right to earn money as a player had to earn money.
Exactly,
It's
but that's the whole point. That the reason is the franchises make way more money than an individual player, and so they had to put a salary cap because then you got franchises in these huge markets that would literally just dominate small market teams, like the New York Giants. There was no salary cap. Fucking go out there and buy every guy. You know what I mean? We could if we wanted to. Just like the
Switch
Yankees, which is why people hate that. A lot of people hate that baseball doesn't have a salary cap. Because teams like the Dodgers, what they just did, went out and just were like, "Fuck
We
it."
already discussed this one too. Not every when the Yankees used to do that in the 80s, they didn't win. They didn't win one World
Yankees never
Series.
did that in the 80s.
They were always going out and buying,
No
paying
way.
the next guy.
No way. Not
That's-
in the 80s. We had Don Mattingly on our team. Freaking,
And they were
20
going
years,
out
and we
getting
could go out and buy
Dave
nobody.
Winfield and
This
Jesse
is back in-
Barfield.
These are back in the days before Jesse Barfield. Come on, man.
And they were going out and getting. And that's where they started gaining the moniker, the Evil Empire, was because they were known as a team that could go out and afford every single thing.
No, you're talking about
And
the
they
90s,
didn't
dude.
win
The 80s,
a World
Steinbrenner
Series
wasn't even in the
every
building.
single year.
The reason why we lost is because
the
Steinbrenner
one
wasn't
time
even in
that
the building for like
they
18
did it
years.
one time when they, you know what? So the idea of being this, you know, all this money, not every team does it. I mean, look at the Minnesota Twins. They won a couple of World Series on mediocre payroll. So it's not always about how much money you spend, and I think that's
my point.
I mean, all the
That's
years.
my point.
The
You don't have to
Dodgers have
spend
what?
all the
How
money.
many World Series have the Dodgers won in like one of the highest payrolls over the last 10 years? They've won what? One World Series or two?
Then you got teams like the Red Sox,
And so
who have also had
You
some of
know,
the highest payroll
so it's not
and have won consistently.
they won what?
10, 15
2 or
years.
3 years. 2 or 3 World Series.
Three.
Was that 3?
So the
It's
Kings
not like
can
everyone
only have
cares. You can see how much I really care about the Red Sox.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not so much, GMing comes into play at some point. You got to assemble a good team. You can't just go out and buy the best players,
Right.
and then none of them fit together. You've got a GM at some point.
And that's what I'm saying, going back to the.
Things may go up and be like,
Some of these players have to realize that, yeah, you might want this money from the agent saying, yeah, you can get this much money. But the owners also have leverage and saying, you know what? Boom, I can do it with one, I can only do it with one player on
yeah,
the team. And you can't do it in every position.
it's called equity.
You can only do it with one player. And so do they do it on, like Seahawks did it with Walter Jones every year. And that's why he was saying, cool, I'll do that.
Because he
you know
wasn't
what?
in for
But you know what? I'm
Try doing that to a wide receiver. Like OBJ.
and he would say, that's cool. You can make me, the top 3 highest paid left tackle in the league. I'm cool with that, but I'm not coming in to training until the last day when I have to report. And granted, he would come in shape and everything else. And that was the understanding between the team and the player. They had a relationship, and so it was cool. And some players, but to do it on a player like, I mean, nothing against Kirk Cousins, but injury prone, maybe some bad
So
decisions.
years ago, dude, when he was on the Washington,
So
they kept doing it when he was literally a very valuable up and comer. People were like, he's the real deal, and I still think he's a hell of a quarterback. And Washington just kept slapping a franchise tag on him. He's like, "What the fuck, man? I want to get paid." He's like, "Look what I'm doing for you guys." And he finally got fed up dealing with the franchise tag,
well,
and he went to the meeting.
and where they franchised him, where he, did he get a big? He got a big contract.
They kept doing it year after year, and Minnesota was like, "Well, fucking paid." So Minnesota fucking paid him, and then in Washington, they ended up with like RG3. You know what I mean? And look how that worked out. And then they just literally had a series of failed
You're
quarterbacks.
talking about the Washington team that was run by Dan Snyder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He cared less about.
That's what I'm saying. So he was taking advantage of the franchise tag. He knew he had a franchise QB, but he didn't want to pay him like one. You know what I mean? He was being cheap.
Because no,
He was like,
It
"Well,
was.
you take our
No,
most
no.
expensive position, and we'll fucking franchise
he
tag."
was making this. The ownership there was making decisions, not about wins.
Yeah, I know.
All they needed was to fill roster spot.
They were just trying to save
So-
money, so that's why they didn't want to pay him. We'll franchise tag our most expensive position, and then we'll underpay everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, he was such a terrible.
So the idea of franchising is I think it's a good idea.
I do too, because what it does, it balances out power a little bit. It doesn't
Right.
give the players all the ability to be like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A team could be like, "Listen, no, maybe next week." You know what I mean? Like, you can't just up and leave like that and leave us screwed.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold on to you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a.
There we go. We got the bracket up here right now.
Yeah, I don't
the
think
playoff
we do.
brackets. Who's the
The
Rangers?
Panthers are gonna whoop
Who's the
their
Rangers
ass.
playing the Red Wings in the first round?
Oh, we got that one. That's an easy one right there.
But then you
I
go
just don't
up
wanna
against
see-
Carolina or Philly. in the next round.
love to see the Flyers.
Yeah, but Philly's not beating Carolina.
Hey, man.
I'm sorry.
No, they're not.
No,
but
they're not. So if the Rangers were to, which they should get past Detroit, they should get past the Red Wings. But you know
I
what?
think we can beat Carolina.
Carolina
You
is
see their biggest.
yeah. They're
See,
taking
it's-
New York. We're
course
watching
they're big,
New
yeah.
York, Carolina. We got Florida beating the Islanders.
That's
Boston
why I would
beating
pick
Toronto again.
Vegas is good.
So that's going to set up a Western
Vancouver,
Conference
yeah.
final. They're going back to the West now.
Dude.
So there's
Eastern
looking
final is
Vancouver.
gonna-
The guys got Vancouver beating Vegas in round one. I see it. Vancouver's freaking balls, man. Edmonton beating the Kings. Oh yeah, that's a no doubt.
Dallas beating fucking
Dallas
Stars.
beat no, they got Colorado
That's what I'm
beating
saying.
the Stars.
I
That's
just said it.
And then
Winnipeg,
Winnipeg
yeah.
beating Nashville. Yeah, that makes sense. So you're
Winnipeg's probably going to go to the Cup.
So
Winnipeg looks
who do
really
they have
good.
with? Oh, they got Florida beating Boston again, and Rangers beating Carolina.
Thank you. Some respect here, buddy.
So here you are. There we go. So
I bet you picked Florida.
this is coming out of CSN. Craig Button right now. Great analyst. They got Edmonton beating Vancouver, facing off against Edmonton. Ooh, battle of the. I like
Probably Winnipeg. Edmonton.
So, this guy saying Florida beating the Rangers coming out of the East. And
Told you.
Winnipeg
Told
beating Edmonton. So you're looking at a Florida Winnipeg, according to, I don't know,
I mean, Winnipeg.
but
That's crazy.
Florida, that's an interesting. Right now, everybody's on the Florida nuts right now. Everybody's on the Florida nuts.
Everyone thinks Florida's going to win the whole damn thing,
But that's just right now. You can't. I mean, you're looking at the first week of March right now.
there's only a month and a half until like the playoffs.
Start, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, this is just like early bracketology here, So interesting just to see coming.
I mean, at least they're giving my Rangers some respect, bro. Put some
And this-
respect on my Rangers.
Yeah. So don't feel slighted because there's people out there giving some Rangers some respect.
I just want to.
That's the
I would love to
baseline.
meet up with the Flyers though, and then shit all over.
Yeah.
4th Street. Sweep.
Yeah.
Bust out the brooms. That's probably my least between the teams I hate the most hockey wise. It's the Islanders and the Flyers. Those are my 2 least favorite hockey teams.
Okay.
Maybe the Bruins, but they're not in our division. They're in the East, but they're not. You know what I mean?
I just don't like Boston. Period.
Yeah,
I mean,
I have
I
a
like
natural
your story,
inclination to not like Boston teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like this story. The whole how you like them Apple, Met game story.
Yeah.
We're the wild thing. We're the big idiots, or we're the idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that.
Kevin Millar.
I mean, I get it, but I mean, the concept of respect is just not there coming out of Boston. It doesn't matter what sport you're
I don't know, man. They're very passionate fans. Man.
Passionate,
They
100%.
don't take no, and they're just like me. That's the one thing I can relate. They're just like me. Like
Yeah,
I was
and that's
watching
where
Rich
I
Eisen show. I was
respect
watching the Rich Eisen show yesterday,
But
and he's got his co-host on there, and he was saying he signed his son up for Weeball, which is like baby,
yeah,
signing T-ball.
yeah.
And he said he finally got his kid's team name, and his kid plays for the Yankees. And he's a diehard Red Sox fan. He's like, we're not taking any pictures. No, he's like, I don't care, man.
Somebody's taking.
We're getting rid of the Yankees logo, and I'm like, man, I'd be the same way. If my kid got the T-ball and she was on the Red Sox, I'd be like, fuck.
You would just take duct tape over it,
Kill
take
me,
your
dude.
pictures and put the Yankee logo
Because
on
he said he got to pick his number, right? And he said he picked 13, which was A-Rod's number. It's like, oh no, dude. His kid's on the Yankees wearing A-Rod's number. Like, that's a Red Sox fan. Fucking nightmare. But
Yeah, I'm glad he did.
But he was like, I'm not gonna be that parent. I'm not gonna tell him we gotta change teams. So he's just biting the bullet. But I as much as I don't like Red Sox,
Oh, you know what?
I respect the fan for
I've
sure, man.
totally forgotten to have my mic on this whole time. My
What?
mic has not been on at all. Anything I've ever said,
Oh yeah.
my mic has not been on. So it's only been having to be, if I was speaking loud enough, coming through your mic. Go figure. I'm making all this good shit. We've had a great conversation so far.
Oh, nobody's watching anyway. So.
No, but we're recording. We're only new at this. Watch until
It's a live stream.
is it live? Yeah, it's live. You got it. Not just recorded. It's straight live. Okay, cool. That's something for me. Good. What are these guys talking about? Like the Bears.
Jalen Johnson.
Doesn't blitz too much.
I don't know who Jalen Johnson is.
I don't either, but
Is he a wide receiver?
Didn't see.
for 4 years, 72 million. I don't know. He's a cornerback. I was like, say that's about a wide receiver pay, so it makes sense.
Well,
Cornerback.
they paid him 19.8 to franchise him. Now they can that tag, and he said they signed him for a year.
Yep.
So it looks like he's a safety of some sort.
So he's getting less money
But
because
it's
82 divided by 4 is less than 19.8 million.
So 50. No, he's got 54 guaranteed, whereas he had 19.8 guaranteed.
For just this year.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. He's got 54.8 guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so, but if
I don't think he's doing the math though.
no. The math is there. He's getting 54.8 guaranteed. Even if it's sure, it's over 4 years, but even if he gets injured this season, he's still making his money next year. Whereas,
Maybe we don't know what the incentive-
whereas if you're a franchise and you're at 19.8 for 1 year, he's only guaranteed 19.8
That's what I'm
versus
saying.
guaranteed 54.
He's maybe guaranteed unless there's
No,
injury
he did
clauses and things like that. You know what I mean?
So he's still making
We
more
don't know the
money,
full team
so he's still
if
making.
he stays healthy. What he's
No,
doing is he's gambling on
even if
himself.
he gets injured, he's still making 54 points.
I don't know the intricacies of his contract, but a lot of them
Yeah, there's gonna be.
they won't pay a guy for 4 years to be injured.
Because the total contract is 72 mil. The guaranteed part is 54.
Yeah, but
Did you not read that? It said.
I understand
the
what
full
guarantee
contract
means.
Is 72,
I understand
guaranteed 54 versus 1 year contract
of guaranteed money.
is only 19. So you're looking at 54 versus 19.
Yeah.
Sorry, 20.
I understand that it's guaranteed,
Yeah,
but if you do the math and you split it up over the amount of years, he's making less money yearly. And then if you think about things like inflation and the risings, how much they're paying every year, it goes up. You know what I mean? If you do the math, he kind of made less money for the more guaranteed long term.
but he's also not guaranteed to be as good of a player.
That's
next
what I'm
year.
saying.
So he did the smart move by signing the 4-year contract and getting 54 guaranteed, regardless of injury or quality.
I don't know if it's guaranteed though. We don't know.
It just said it. The full contract is 72, 54 is guaranteed.
Yeah, but I don't think it's completely guaranteed to the point where if you were to be injured tomorrow, that they would have to pay it. I think there's got to be some kind of teams just wouldn't do that. There's got to be some kind
No,
of
that's why you see a contract number versus the guaranteed number.
I understand contracts, man. I get that. Okay, but part of it is probably incentives, right?
No,
The other part
that's,
is
that's what
you're
the,
guaranteed
that's
this
what
money.
the bump up from 54 to 72 is.
I don't know.
The incentives is included in that difference of what
That's what I'm saying.
28.
Those are
that-
incentives.
That's a 28 mil to get to 72.
I get that. Guaranteed money
So
does
what
not
don't you
necessarily.
get? So if you do the math, the math says guaranteed is 54 versus 19.
Yeah, but then he could have got franchise tag next year and made more money, right? But you just said it yourself.
But that's the thing. Does he know if he's going to get injured? Does he know if he's going to perform the same? No, he doesn't. So you know what? That's the difference of, hey, I like the idea
So I'm
of.
saying he's taking less money
No, he's not.
for the guarantee. He is, dude.
No,
Do
he's
the math.
not.
Do the math.
He could get injured.
Bro,
And you're still gonna
the
make
guarantee money is
54 million.
56 million, right?
Yes. 55 million, 54.6, 54.8. No, it was 19.8 for 1 year. Nothing else beyond that.
Okay, so that's
I mean,
roughly
he has
13 million a year.
No,
Yeah.
but it's guaranteed each year. Right now, he only
That's what I'm
has a
saying.
contract for
So we took
1
less
year,
money
and he's
for
gonna-
the more guaranteed.
regardless of his quality of next season of this season, he's gonna get 13. And the next season, he's gonna get 13. In
Yeah.
the next season, he's gonna get
So he's taking less
he
money
doesn't
for
have
the
to
guaranteed long-term financial.
He's thinking no,
It's less money, dude. The math.
and that's why they also rip up contracts. So right now, or so as it was, he only had guaranteed money of 19.8
Now he's got guaranteed.
until he signed the contract, which is so if he was if the full contract is 72 million. So 72 divided by 4 is what?
So let me ask you something. Do people make more money? Okay, when people win a lotto, do they make more money when they have the money given to them over time, or when they take it out in one lump sum?
It depends.
Doesn't depend. You make more money when you just take it out in one lump sum and it's taxed once, or do you make more money when it's taxed over a course of years?
It depends on what you do with that lump sum. Because you're still gonna get it's still liable to be taxed.
Bro,
depending
He's
on
got
what-
guaranteed money that's going to be taxed for the
that's
next
the
few
thing.
years, right? on top of it's
But
less
he's-
money
but
than he
he's
would have made
dealing
just for
with
1 year.
54 versus 20.
Yeah, so he's taking the guaranteed long-term
And the
financial
long-term,
stability.
And the
Not
long term can
more
also be
money.
the bump up is 72.
Incentive-wise. But over the
It's-
course of as the years go on,
Here-
that money is
think-
going to seem less and less because every player in his position is going to keep getting more and more money. The salary cap's going to keep going up, and his salary is going to
And
be
is he
right.
still gonna- is he
As
still-
everything else is going up, his is going to be right here.
But he
So
does,
he's going to be effectively making less every year.
but he can't guarantee that he's
That's what
gonna
I'm saying. So he's taking
Yeah,
the
he-
long-term financial stability over the more money.
over the instant money.
Yeah.
Of 19.
That's what it's a
He's-
lotto
so-
thing.
so
it's like
he's-
don't take the instant you can take the instant money and make a big bag.
If
can.
if I'm in the NFL, I'm taking the 54 versus 1.
Well, some guys
year
will do that.
20.
I mean, you got guys that
Because,
know they're
because
good
I
enough
also know
to
that
go
my
somewhere else.
contract is structured
Yeah.
to where
You got
Not
guys
only
that
am I
know
I
that
know
they are that guy.
I bump up as opposed to being bumped down. I
Yeah.
can't be bumped down lower than 54.
Like you couldn't pull a
I can-
contract like that. You couldn't put a contract like that
I'm gonna get
on.
right now. I can also get up to 72.
You understand? Like you couldn't give a contract like that to a starting QB in the league. You know what I mean? Like it's
That was the Russell Wilson. That was the thing about Russell Wilson.
250 million versus the 50 million. You know what I'm saying? Different positions, you know? And now Russell
No,
Wilson's still getting paid. Russell Wilson's
So-
still getting paid. But
But that was based off. I mean, and that's why people are not wanting this. That's honestly goodness reason why teams are like, we don't want anything to do with you, Russell, is because you aren't interested in the football. You're interested in the shenanigans and these weird contracts. And I want my own office.
office, yeah. I
And,
know.
and the teams are just like, you know what? You're past your prime, and we aren't playing those games with you anymore. So you know what? We know right now people are not going to tune in to ESPN to watch you like people are tuning to watch more people. If they were to put the Peyton Manning, Eli Manning Monday Night Football versus the Russell Wilson Monday Night Football, the ratings would be like, who's Russell Wilson?
I don't think so, man.
Dude.
You're underestimating Wilson's fucking star power. He will get
Well,
eyeballs on the
that's why
TV.
every team is ignoring him right now.
They're not ignoring him, dude. Teams are very much interested because they don't have to pay him shit to have him play for them.
Because
The
you
Steelers,
have such,
they really
because
need
you
a
have
guy.
such belief in Danny Dimes that you don't want your Giants to sign Russell Wilson. Instead, you're trying to pawn him off on some retirement story. in
I told you I
Seattle.
didn't know how I felt about it.
You're-
I told you I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Because at this point, it's like we're not that desperate for a quarterback. We're not that desperate. So I'm like, what would we be
and I-
doing
and
with
I-
that?
And I think
That's where I'm like, it would seem like a
and
weird
that's why I
move.
was telling you.
I'm like, we don't need him like that.
and-
Whereas a team like the Steelers has an
The
incredibly
Steelers-
good offense. With
They-
and all they are literally a quarterback away.
I think personally,
They are a quarterback away from
Russell
dominating
Wilson-
that division.
Russell Wilson going to Pittsburgh
Yeah.
makes for me a lot of sense for Russell Wilson, but if he's willing to take a hit to his ego, because Mike Tomlin, you don't fuck around.
Yeah, I know that.
And
If anyone
but
could
but
be a
the thing
mentor
is-
to the guy, though.
but the thing is, Russell Wilson already showed if any Sean Payton tried to put him in his place, and Russell Wilson was like, "Nope, I'm out. You know what? I'm not going to listen to you."
Sean Payton is a little bit different though than Mike
And-
Tomlin. Mike
and-
Tomlin
and-
commands a little bit more respect. Just his presence alone.
Exactly. But Russell Wilson still wasn't willing to show even Sean Payton any respect, who took a short quarterback in Drew Brees in the Super Bowl
I'm
with
fun to hear that short quarterback. Drew Brees was
He-
Drew Brees, and he was great.
he was
Chicken or not,
he
he was gonna be good.
that's my point. He took a quarterback that even the Chargers were like,
The Chargers
Right.
had Philip Rivers on their roster.
okay.
Of course they
And
were
so-
gonna. Well, let's see.
and
We
so
take this
Sean
great
Payton-
quarterback or this great quarterback.
Exactly. And Russell Wilson, that's the thing, is that he has such a weird thing about himself where he thinks he's greater than everybody, where I'm going to be the one to tell people what to do. And he doesn't realize that the great ones will listen. Yes, they're going to throw their weight in and they're going to be this and that. But Russell, you make bad decisions, and the proof is in the pudding.
I don't think he makes bad. I think he was a pretty good year last year. I think Sean Payton didn't want him from the start. He didn't choose him.
Yeah.
He didn't want him.
I'm going to change this channel.
He felt like he was stuck with a guy. You know what I mean? He was just like, fucking. I guess I'll work with this guy. You know what I mean? He's not my guy, but all right, we'll see what I can do with him. You know what I mean? I guess they just assumed because he coached Drew Brees, and he'd be able to just Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, same person.
They don't want the circus that.
That's what I'm saying. Whereas I think Mike Tomlin, you know what I mean? I just think they want a guy like him. They want a guy who's just like all about the team, all about working hard, all about, football. As corny as it seems, the Steelers Nation, they appreciate that shit. And they will have your fucking back if you ball out. You know what I mean?
But
If
that's
you come
the thing,
in
but
like,
that's the
with
thing.
this whole
But that's the thing.
I'm gonna win. Hey, man, as long as you win, fucking, we got your ass. We got
The
you.
thing is, Russell Wilson will not listen to the coach. If he did, because he should listen to a guy like Mike Tomlin, and if Mike Tomlin is seeing that, dude, you know what, Russell, you're just not cutting it.
I mean, hey, Mike Tomlin has been sticking with Kenny Pickett and fucking who else did he have? Mason Rudolph, right? You know what I mean? At some point, you got to give Mike Tomlin a quarterback. He hasn't had a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger.
You don't have to go anywhere. You can stay home. Just home.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I don't think personally. I think that's the reason why he was asked to, not asked. He was not invited back, is because more and more people saw how much of a joke Russell Wilson was becoming, where he's like, I demand that, you know what, I'm better than the coach. I'm better than this and that. When in reality, he's proven himself not to be. Okay, I mean, and that's the truth.
I mean, we don't know. I just think,
And in the fact that he's like, you know what, I wouldn't even take a pay cut just to get to be a part of a good coach and a good team, to where, hey, you know what, I'm going to be a team player. It's like, no, I'm keeping my money. I'm keeping my money. I don't care about
need
what
a guy with that mentality that he thinks he's better than the other guys. You need a guy that.
But if he can't prove it, if he doesn't do it,
he won a Super Bowl. He proved it. He went to 2 Super Bowls.
he did that. He did that in what, 2013? That's 11 years ago.
To you,
Oh my God.
to you, bitching about me as a Yankee fan. That's
What, no, I'm
because
trying
we
to
have
prove to you.
a World
I'm trying
Series
to prove to you.
2009. You used to shit all over.
No.
But you act like
No, what I'm trying to prove to you
2013
is you're trying to make Russell Wilson seem like he's the 2013 version of Russell Wilson. He's not the 2013 version.
That was
Oh,
what his
Wilson.
second year in the league, though. He's not.
No, that
old.
was his. That
He's
was
35.
that was his what?
Second or third year.
It's, I think his third year.
He was so young. He's still young.
Exactly. So why did he not improve?
He absolutely did improve. He won MVP and everything, didn't he?
He won MVP the year he didn't win a Super Bowl.
Still, dude. I mean, think about
He won one MVP.
I can't believe you shit all. I would never shit all over Eli like this. I would never. I'd be rooting for him no matter what, dude. I would never shit on Eli like this.
Here. You want to know the reason?
Seahawks fans
You
are
want
such
to know
haters
the
of their
reason
own
why?
guy.
You want to know the reason why
Jeez.
us Seattle fans shit all over a guy like Russell Wilson? Is because he grew his ego to be more important than the team.
Hey man, we have Lawrence Taylor as
Okay.
one of our fucking greatest guys. That's what I'm talking about ego. You don't talk about ego. You know what I'm saying? Lawrence Taylor is about as big as it gets.
How often do you hear Russell Wilson say, you know what, I really appreciate the work that Pete Carroll did to help me be a better coach. He doesn't. He doesn't talk about the help that he got from his teammates.
Here's all I hear about Russell.
Okay.
Here's
And
what
if
all
you
I hear
listen to
about that.
Lawrence Taylor, he will say, I really appreciate Bill Parcells. I like Bill Belichick. He goes and he celebrates his teammates. Russell Wilson doesn't do that.
I don't know, man. Like, I didn't hear fucking Patriots fans shitting on Brady when he went to fucking Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? They were rooting for him to win the Super
Hey,
Bowl.
you guys get down here. What are you guys doing?
And they still love him, too.
Dogs
Even
are-
though, even though he won a Super Bowl for him, they still love him. They honored him in the Ring of Honor and everything down there. Yeah. You got to respect your great ones, man.
Look, dude, it's awesome what he did. The fact that he got, hey, dude,
Down.
no,
I'm gonna say, sit. Sit.
it was really great the thing that he was able to do. Here, he defied some odds. But I don't think people understand how much went into that decision to make him try to be the next Tom Brady. And that's the reason why they went with the passing play instead of the running play with Marshawn Lynch.
I understand that. That was a-
Okay,
that was a terrible
and because of the fact that the coaching staff said, you know what, we have a chance to ride with a Russell Wilson on this pass, so let's choose this passing play, and that's why Pete Carroll so gets kind of written because he knows he probably should have run the ball. However, think about the other time when he did run the ball with on a fourth down play against Texas with Lendale White, and he didn't get the first down. So that Pete Carroll might have had that in his back of his brain. Who am I gonna? I mean, making that decision was always going to be tough. I mean, that's a decision that goes back to playground days for anybody. And it's always just like, oh, you should have shown. You should have.
Let's talk about the hate for Russell.
And
You don't
but,
understand why
but
people
it's-
hate
the,
Russell so
the
much,
thing
like-
about the hate for Russell is he tried to influence so many things to where even when he became, the failure after they lost the Super Bowl, where he never reclaimed the glory, and it's like, dude, every time he dropped back and he went to Whirly Dervish, it was just like, holy crap, we better get lucky. I mean, everybody looks at that Hail Mary against Green Bay, the fail Mary. Everybody knows that wasn't maybe technically a catch. So he even got lucky to have that be a success, which got them home field advantage. They beat Aaron Rodgers on some fluke playoff stuff. A lot of his stuff, to use a phrase, was a lot of luck. And he doesn't give credit to the fact that, hey, it wasn't just me out there doing things.
I don't know, man.
He doesn't talk about his teammates like all the other
You
guys.
think so? Because it seems
No,
to me
he
like
doesn't.
really because it seems like
He celebrates Russell Wilson.
the
and
main
Sierra.
shtick is Russell is so corny, it's almost fake. Like that's the shtick. He's so friendly and he's so all about the team and he's all about football. He's all about this so much, it's almost unbelievably fake. Like people are just hating on the fact that he is that guy. And they were like, he always does the right thing, and he's always doing the right thing,
Because,
and he's never got controversy outside of fucking football.
because he wants it to be about him.
No, because it's like people just can't. They're not buying it for some reason. Like
Because
to
they
me, I
know
would
that-
love that.
Exactly.
Like, my quarterback was just man. It's like he's
Because
just so good.
Because
We
he-
can't find
he
anything.
even
There's
said
got to
it.
be
He's only
something.
saying the politically correct thing, even if he doesn't believe it, because he's saying, "Hey, this is going to make me look good," as opposed to not make me look bad.
I mean, that's every
And-
athlete, dude.
So
Every athlete, they're trying to protect their
and,
brand.
and everybody can. It's just so transparent.
They're businessmen, man. It's just like stock market. One bad word gets out about your business, and your stock price can plummet. And it's the same thing with athletes. You know what I mean? One bad thing, and suddenly you're not getting endorsements, or you're losing endorsements. Things like that. It can cost you money saying the wrong thing. That's just kind of where he's at. It's just every athlete's like that. Then you got guys like Antonio Brown who couldn't give two shits and just fucking run off at the mouth and don't give a fuck about endorsements or money or none of that shit, and are just not even thinking long term about financially. You know what I mean?
Essentially turning into like some folks,
Yeah.
a criminal.
Yeah.
And I
A
mean,
thug, whatever, a big
who
old
is-
negative.
who is the corner Pac-Man Jones?
He
Same
totally
thing.
revamped himself, though. He did a real good job on
But
coming back.
you see,
He had a
was
bad
more-
image all of a sudden.
He became more real.
Yeah.
Exactly. He didn't come off as just somebody who's just reciting something just to make just
That's why everyone
and-
loves
and-
Marshawn
you know what?
Lynch.
I mean,
That's
Russell
why everyone loves
Wilson,
Marshawn Lynch.
a-
But Marshawn Lynch gets himself in trouble for it sometimes.
and people but
That's
that's
what
the thing,
happens.
people will follow idiocy, right? As opposed to like, hey, here's a guy, Russell Wilson, trying to protect his image by just saying the right things and doing the right
Because it's
things.
not just his image anymore. His wife also.
And I think that's also the reason why he chose the woman that he wanted. Also, because
Sarah could have pretty much any guy she wanted.
exactly, but who was he in competition with? Tom Brady, and Giselle Bundchen, right? And
They wanted to be a power couple.
and so what did Russell think? Okay, in order for me to be the next power person, I have to be like Tom Brady and be a power couple.
Hey man, I mean,
Instead of
He was in
living
his 20s.
instead of living out the fairy tale with a wife that he already had, because
the wife that cheated on him.
what? Maybe the wife saw through his bullshit.
Oh yeah, so that makes
I'm
it
not.
okay.
I'm not making it okay either.
I sick of your bullshit, so I'm gonna go fuck your teammate. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
But you know
I
what?
think he did all right considering the circumstances. He got screwed pretty bad. I think he, success is the ultimate form of revenge, and I think that's the card he's playing right now. Though that girl that cheated on him, who the fuck is she? Where is she? Who is she?
Through this,
You
through that.
know what I'm saying? Where's Golden Tate?
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And then
But
we
it's
talking
like-
about right now
But
about
when
he getting paid a lot.
But
Russell came out.
when he's trying to make himself to be out like some tough guy, I'm this big dog, and I ride it up. What's wrong?
Man, I
got
celebrate
myself a
success.
Hummer, and
So
I'm
what, man?
tough dog.
Flex,
and his
flex
wife is
on
just
them
like-
hoes. Flex on those hoes, dude. I celebrate
And he's
his
just like,
success.
and she's
They
just
tried
like,
to bring
you know
him
what?
down,
You're not
and
as
people
great.
trying to
as-
make him seem like a piece of
She
shit.
might have been
he's
the
like,
first
"Fuck
one to
that."
see that. You know what? You're not as great as you think you are.
He
Fuck
is.
you.
Let me tell you something. I respect
She
him.
was the first one
because
to, like,
he didn't let
call
this
out his
woman-
bullshit.
Hey man, he didn't let some woman who cheated on him
And she was the
fucking
first
dictate
one
who
that
he became.
came-
He became something better than she thought he would be.
You know,
Oh, I'm sorry. You think you're gonna ruin my life? You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. I'll go out and be a success, and we'll let you sit back here. You know what I mean? At the bottom, while I'm climbing up here.
You know what? For all we know too, she might have some. There might be some sort of NDA, which is why she doesn't talk much about shit. She doesn't go out and do things anymore. Who knows?
I don't know, but
I mean-
all I know is Russ seems to be doing just fine, and I celebrate it because it seems to me like the only story about him is he's just corny. He's just too good. It just can't be real. And it's like, hey man, and maybe it is. Either way, there are worse things to worry about. If I'm worried that my quarterback's going to say too many good things to the media,
And-
oh man,
and
he's
I
saying
think
all the
that
right
that's-
things. What an asshole!
And I think that that's what people are waiting for Russell to do.
Yeah.
Is just say, you know what? I don't have to go out there and be Tom Brady, top of the the image of the NFL. And you know what? Just let me go out. And that's why I say I think if he was to go to Pittsburgh with Mike Tomlin, and every time they win a game, tone it down. You know what? I'm gonna do the Ross thing. Tone it down a little.
Fuck that. Lean
You know what I
into it, dude. Lean into it.
And
He's the corniest
when
motherfucker
he
in the
leans
game.
into, that's the thing. Every time he leans into that imagery, he fails.
Nah, man, he won a Super Bowl with that imagery. He literally took the starting job from Matt Flynn with that. You know what I'm saying?
Matt
He-
Flynn.
Man,
He had
Matt
one
Flynn was the
good
highest.
game.
He was the highest played guy on your roster. He fucking took the spot from him before the guy even had one snap. You know what I mean? Like Russell Wilson was that guy. You know what I'm saying?
No,
He's in the
no,
twilight of his career, granted, but I don't think he's
you know what?
so bad. It's like Montana the last few years in Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? You think Montana was just, he was still a top 10 quarterback in the league, dude. You know what I'm saying? But he was still not the peak Joe Montana, And I think that's what
I
Russ
just
is
want to
at.
make sure, you know what? Maybe I need to step myself back a little bit too, because Russell Wilson, dude, he was making the right moves. He was doing the right things. Because I think when he did more than anything, is he took the Seahawk brand and took it to the next level. And I think,
Made it cool.
and I
want to
think,
come to the Seahawks.
I think that that's something that he doesn't get praised. I think if people would focus on that, I think it would be more, people would start to think, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right. You know, the Seahawks brought in Mike Holmgren and they bumped their value up. They bumped up their cred.
They went
Right?
from Hasselbeck, Holmgren, fucking Sean Alexander,
and then-
literally just revamped
But
that
no,
whole
but
system.
you know what? When this Paul Allen bought the Seahawks, what did he do? He brought in Mike Holmgren. He bumped up their street cred,
Yeah.
right? Mike Holmgren, 49ers,
They
you
should
know,
playoff team.
Bill Walsh coaching tree, right?
Yeah.
It's now what was the next level for the Seahawk brand? Hey, you know what? Russell Wilson can make us, and that was the thing about Ken Griffey Jr. was he made Seattle not a small market anymore. He bumped them up to a larger market.
I would
And-
argue that the
and-
Pete Carroll
and-
hire
and-
is where it all
and
started,
so,
not the Russell Wilson.
well, no,
Draft.
you know what? You're right. The fact that you know what, they made a bold move. Going,
Carroll was like a rock star coaching hire.
right.
at the
It was,
time, you
and
know?
people up here because of the UW USC thing. They're like, really,
Yeah.
Pete Carroll? Well, you know what? Let's see what happens.
West Coast guy, man. He was
Right.
perfect.
Let's see what happens. And people were ready to make that bump up. Right. They were ready to say, okay, let's make us a large market. You know what? Yeah, we have Boeing, we have Microsoft, we have Starbucks, we have Amazon. So now let's do it with our sports, right? Yeah, we had Ken Griffey Jr. long ass time ago, but now let's bump up in Russell Wilson. That's where I think he should be celebrated a little bit more. Is the fact that he gave the Seahawks that next street cred because he delivered the Super Bowl that we were missing all of those years. Because there was times when we had quarterbacks that we were drafting, Dan McGuire coming out of San Diego State. Remember Dan McGuire?
Nope.
Okay.
Exactly.
With Tom Flores coming out of the Oakland Raiders. You know, the Seahawks have always had these names. Chuck Knox, beloved around the NFL. He was a top guy, right? Steve Largent, when he retired, he was the number one wide receiver stat-wise when he
I know.
retired.
He's still a top 10 guy, ain't he?
Yeah.
He's-
Okay. So the Seahawks have always been there. And what Russell Wilson did was he delivered the Super Bowl, which is what was missing,
Mhm.
right? They won playoff games, not just
Not only that, you guys literally have
but
one of
then
the greatest defenses
then
of
again-
all time.
but then again, if we didn't get screwed over by the refs against Pittsburgh, like because everybody knows Ben Roethlisberger never crossed that line, no matter what the VAR said, or you know the video replay shows, or they said.
I understand.
Everybody knows that Ben Roethlisberger, and we know that wasn't holding on Darrell Jackson in the end zone on that touchdown, and all these holding calls, those were not holding calls. Everybody knows this. So the Seahawks really should have won Super Bowls except for the storyline. And that's what Russell Wilson was able to do for a season. And I think some people don't realize that Russell Wilson kind of gets used a little bit as an NFL storyline where, he was great, but now he's failed. You know what? It's that high and that low. But they had to pit him against the ultimate, which is Tom Brady, who now is getting really close to being passed by Mr. Mahomes. So
I don't know,
there's
he ain't
always the
really close.
NFL.
Mahomes ain't close. How is he close? He ain't nowhere close. Granted, athletically, he might be much better than Tom Brady, right? But Tom Brady
He's won more Super Bowls at a younger age than Tom Brady.
he still
So
has
he's got
close stuff.
opportunity. So he has an opportunity to pass Tom Brady with a lot of years left. And you know
Talk
what?
to me when he
And-
gets close.
And you know
For
what?
real, though,
And,
but he
here-
ain't
and
close.
here's the other deal. He's
He's
at,
like, he's
he's, at
close.
the, he's at the same point where Tom Brady was, where he had a chance to win 3 in a row.
Yeah, well,
So
talk
guess
to
what's
me
up?
though, because talk to
Okay,
me when
then-
he's actually close to
Okay,
Tom Brady.
okay.
7 Super
now,
Bowls.
Now, tell me this. Let's say Patrick Mahomes wins this 3rd straight Super Bowl. Why are you trying to make out with me, dog?
He's just hanging out on the.
You know, you're licking my ear. You're trying to warm me up. I mean, how many times do you have to be told no means no?
Like even
Okay, so okay. Let me tell you. Let me ask you this question. Tom Brady, what, has won 7, right? He never won 3 in a row, right? Okay. Let's say Patrick Mahomes wins this 3rd in a row. How many would that be for Patrick Mahomes? 4 total?
3.
Just
Wait,
4 total.
would that be 4?
Yes, because he's won back to back now.
Oh yeah.
And he had the one prior
Mhm.
where so he won 1, skipped a year, won 2 more. So he's at 3.
I'm telling
No,
you.
don't tell me. So, but he's going to do something Tom Brady never did, which is win 3 in a row, and that puts him at 4. Now, this is my question: if Patrick Mahomes wins 3 in a row, a total of 4 for the rest of his career,
Is he better than Tom Brady?
is he going to be considered better than Tom Brady?
No.
No? Okay.
No way. No
That's
fucking
just,
way.
that's a question.
How quickly is everyone just like, Tom Brady's not as
No,
good?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that.
For you,
And all I'm doing is presenting a question.
Tom Brady is inarguably the greatest football player of all time. That's just it.
I'm
Like,
not.
why do people still argue that?
All I was doing was presenting the
The
question.
very next year, they're like, "Well, is Mahomes better?" Fuck,
I
no, he's
know.
not.
But what I'm telling you is the question. That's all we're saying. That's going to be the next question.
Yeah,
Is-
well, fuck me in 15 years.
Exactly.
If he even makes it that far, you know what I mean? Like, I just, first of all, Brady played forever. He played for like 20 fucking years. Like, talk to me
And then
when he actually gets close.
But-
Now everyone's just like, really get close. He might.
right.
But I mean,
But
literally
everybody
no
knows
one's ever
that
done it
they
before
changed-
that.
They also will say when they look back, a lot of rules got changed to
Mhm.
benefit Tom Brady. So really, did he truly win,
Or
or did he get the benefit of the
are
doubt?
we? Did
Yeah.
Mahomes truly
So-
win because now he's got all those rules to fucking coddle him,
But
whereas
hey,
Brady didn't have them
But
already.
you know what though? The NFL.
They started realizing, ooh, this is gonna break a guy's leg. Change the rule. Ooh,
Hey,
this is
but-
gonna do this. All right, change the rule. Like Brady was still playing under the old rules until they changed it. You know what I mean?
To
Whereas
benefit
Mahomes is
him
playing
to where-
underneath the new NFL, where
Hey,
offense is key.
And they were not making calls that would have hurt Tom Brady, where he would not have won these.
And keep in mind, Tom Brady lost the whole year with a knee injury.
So okay, so
So-
what I'm getting at,
Matt Campbell's throwing the freaking ball.
so
What was it,
what I'm
Garoppolo?
getting at is, so maybe he benefited 1-ish Super Bowls because of how much he took the benefit of some rules benefits, right? Sacks and what is and
And then there was the Vinatieri kick in the snow.
or roughing the penalty passers more. That's more the thing. They would call roughing the passer when you're just like, really? Now versus if Patrick Mahomes wins a total of 4, the fuck's that? Wins 4, 3 in a row, which is something Tom Brady never did. But he overcame in this particular season where we already know he won the 2nd in a row. What penalty did they call that almost upset their season by not giving them home field advantage?
What, the fucking forward pass rule?
That forward where the guy not the forward pass where the guy lined up offside.
Oh yeah.
And then they did the whole pitch back and then run for the touchdown, and that changed because of that penalty call. If that was the New England Patriots, Tom Brady, would they have called that penalty? And so what I'm getting at is,
What a shit, dude.
so the
Fucking
Chiefs
fast.
the Chiefs overcame a penalty that was called that would not have been called against the Patriots. They wouldn't have called it against the
The
Patriots.
Chiefs has gotten the benefit of that
So,
many times.
Okay, now I'm not going to say that they haven't in other instances, but now we're looking at the comparing.
And they also won the
So
Super
what I'm
Bowl
saying
this
is
year
compare
because of
contrast.
bad coaching. They almost lost it, mind you, to Brock Purdy, right? In overtime.
And that's what I'm getting at is, so you're looking at compare and contrast where everybody talks about how much did Tom Brady benefit versus look at what Patrick Mahomes has had to overcome. right? And not to say that Tom Brady hasn't had to overcome either, because he had to come back from a serious injury, right?
Yeah,
But-
he had his knee blown out.
Right. And that's what, so I'm just pointing out all of these different aspects, and I'm letting it just be recorded by us, because here we are. We always talk about how, you know what, we talk about things that people don't talk about.
Mm.
Well, we're being recorded now. So now people will have the evidence.
Well-
So I'm going to say these things out loud because people are going to talk about these things down the road. And
I
it's gonna be-
just think
because I
that
think this
Mahomes is great, and he's already a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's undoubted. First ballot Hall of Famer right now. Is he better than Brady? Right now, no freaking way, no way. He just does not have the resume yet. Can he be better than Brady? Sure. Will he? Fuck, I don't know, man, because no one has done what Brady has done.
right.
He is literally the only one in his fucking league, the only one in all sports
But
to
here's
do
the-
what he's done.
but
You know what I mean?
And that's what I'm saying.
No one athlete has won that many championships in their sport.
Okay, there's that nobody has ever done.
He's just great.
Okay, now hold up.
Him and Belichick.
Now here's another nobody has ever done. And what is that nobody has ever done?
What?
Win 3 in a row.
Yeah, but 3 in a row.
So what you're
It's
saying
a
is
little easier to
no,
pull
hold
off.
on. So
Didn't
you're
the Steelers do that in the 70s with Terry Bradshaw?
not 3 in a row.
I thought it was 3 in a row in the 70s.
No.
See what? But now we're talking about
But-
today's NFL.
But no, hold up. But that's what I'm getting at is you brought up a nobody has ever done, and I'm bringing up a nobody has ever done.
Yeah, we're talking about someone's entire career.
Which he
Man.
hasn't done yet, which he hasn't done yet. The Chiefs have not done
I know.
yet. So, but I'm just presenting this argument ahead of, and that's why I think,
You're presenting a hypothetical. I'm
Right.
speaking on right now.
and
What are the facts?
and that's what I'm saying. 15 years down the road,
Hypothetically, if
and
Fucking-
so
yeah, hypothetically, yeah, he could fucking
what would be the
he could grow
comparison?
wings and become a fucking, a fairy and fly away. Like hypothetically,
Right.
a lot can happen in 15
But
years.
what I'm saying is Tom
Hypothetically,
Brady, but we already know Tom Brady is not going to, well, 98% sure that Tom Brady's not going to come back and win another Super Bowl. So the mark is to hit is 7.
Mhm.
The other mark to hit is 3 in a row.
possibly, or passing
No,
yards,
Another mark,
career passing yards. You know what I mean? Like things like that.
the,
Touchdowns,
right? No, those
which I believe Breeze holds the touchdown record.
yes.
I think it was a
And so a mark that could be hit that would be completely unique, like a total of 7, another mark to hit that could elevate himself into a conversation would be 3 in a row. Now, that's it, but that's going on a caveat that let's say now hold up. I'm gonna do another asterisk or
hypothetical.
another scenario that plays out down the road because it hasn't happened yet. It can't happen yet
Uh-huh.
because we still have to wait for life to happen, which is let's say he does win 3 in a row.
Mhm.
Okay. And then he goes 3 years without winning a Super Bowl. And then he wins one more. So that gives him a total of 5 where he did something that nobody's ever done, which is win 3 in a row, and he's won 5.
We're still getting something.
Well, and now that's why Tom Brady is still considered so great.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
look what he has to do.
So, but
and
those
he hasn't even
scenarios,
done it to
Those-
get close.
and that's why I'm saying let's start to and
I don't even bring that up. Is he better? No, he's
Right.
not.
currently
It's just no argument.
but I think the reason why the conversation there's multiple reasons why. People are bringing up the whole Patrick Mahomes. Is he better? Could he be
Because he's
better?
impressive to watch.
Is
Because it's
because
clear.
I think he's a different style of quarterback to where Tom Brady was that still traditional
Pocket passer.
pocket,
I know. He
stand,
had no legs
The Roger
whatsoever.
Staubach, look at me posing.
He had no
Right.
run. He couldn't run.
Okay, right?
Was his longest run of his career like 20 yards or something? like that?
Right, whatever it was. So versus you look at what people will say, well, look at the athletes that are quarterback now. Does that
Yeah.
qualify them to
Yeah.
being considered a better all-around athlete quarterback because people will still say Michael Vick, not the best coaches, not the best players around him.
The
not
best
the
coach.
best-
Andy Reid was his fucking coach. I don't want to hear he didn't have the
After-
best coach.
After he sat out what 2-3 seasons.
I know, not the
So-
best coaches. Andy fucking Reid was not good enough.
Philadelphia,
Yeah.
where he didn't win a Super Bowl.
I know. I'm saying
Okay.
Philly's
Where
probably
he-
kicking themselves in the ass right
Okay.
now.
So, but you understand what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
so I think that's why people are having the conversation of overall who was a better quarterback is because there is such a contrast of style of quarterback. So there's a natural gravitational pull to the conversation of who really is the better quarterback.
I think the position.
You know,
I think people are realizing that
so
if you get a quarterback that can throw and run, it's essentially like having another player on the field.
right, and
You know what I mean?
versus a quarterback who gets the benefit of the doubt of so-called roughing the passer penalties, the league wanting to uphold
The
this
pocket passer thing is a thing in the
image.
past now. That's why
Right.
that's why they're
And so
updating the whole rules
versus-
now with like
versus
intentional grounding.
these athletes, hey, you know what? He's actually a better athlete. So overall, he might be considered. Sure, he only won 5 Super Bowls, but he did win 3 in a row, which nobody ever did.
No one, dude.
So
If he
so
wins
these
one, if he
conversations-
never wins another Super Bowl, it's still impressive what he's done. What he's
Right,
done is still
right.
greater than 95% of the quarterbacks that have ever played in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's still not better than Brady though.
Okay,
Brady is just
Do we-
Brady, and I'm a Giants fan. I'm not a Patriots fan in any way, and everyone thinks I
how
hate
many
the Patriots.
Ben
'cause we played in
Roethlisberger?
the
How
Super
many?
Bowl once.
How many? Roethlisberger. How many Super Bowls has he won?
One. He played in 2.
No, Roethlisberger.
He won one his like second year in the league.
He won. He beat the Seahawks. He beat the Arizona
Oh,
Cardinals.
that's right. So he won 2. Yeah,
So
Roethlisberger got
no, I
2.
think he won a third.
No,
in
he
there
didn't win the
somewhere.
third one. No.
Didn't he? Who else did he beat?
No.
Where's our phones?
I know he
Let's-
beat
let's-
Arizona. I know he beat Arizona. He beat that year that fucking what's his name?
The 99-yard
Yeah.
touchdown return.
And then he beat
He beat the Seahawks for another.
mhm.
I think he won 3. He's won 3. I'm pretty sure.
No, I believe he
Didn't
played.
he
I
beat
believe
the
he played the
49ers?
Packers.
Didn't he beat the 49ers?
No, didn't he play the Packers against Aaron Rodgers that one year?
Look it up. You got your phone. You got yours because mine's still over there. So
Didn't he play Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in like 20?
man, we gotta get these nachos started. So we might put this video on pause for a second so we can get some lunch going.
Go ahead, it's just a
Well,
live stream.
I'm just saying, let's look this up. Let's finish this conversation first.
Hold on,
Let's get this topic. Just,
Steelers
Roethlisberger Super Bowls.
Super Bowl.
It's Roethlisberger. You care less about the Steelers. The Steelers suck donkey balls.
They've won 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah, they've won 6. How many did
Uh,
Roethlisberger? Because I know Bradshaw won 3, and I think Roethlisberger won 3.
no, they won it in 09 and 11, and then wait. This is not telling me shit. Okay. Okay. Good.
Why are you trying to eat my hand? I'm gonna go get you some lunch, dog. Use your fingers.
Mike Tomlin only has 2 Super Bowl championships.
He only has 2. Okay, so he's only won 2 with Roethlisberger. Okay. For some reason, I thought he had a 3rd.
That's what I remember. 'Cause Tomlin was like a rookie head coach or a second year head coach. And Roethlisberger was a young, and then they all of a sudden go to the Super Bowl, beat the Seahawks, and then they go back that year with the Cards. And I really wanted Larry Fitzgerald to get a fucking Super Bowl that year. I was so bummed. Yeah, I
Let's
was.
go ahead and put this on pause. Thanks for watching, folks. This is intermission. We're gonna do some lunch here and let these dogs eat because they keep trying to eat my hand. Okay, I'll put this on pause. I'll get off my ass and do this. And then I'll cook too.
What the fuck? I set up this whole damn thing.
Oh, here, let me wash my cup that was sitting there for 2 weeks.
What, man? You leave things here at your own risk. I've been
I didn't think I